Optim Finance have released their testnet version of their DeFi protocol, and in this video, I'm going to take you through the whole process, explain to you exactly what's going on, why you might be interested in using this, and if you're a stake pool operator, this is something to definitely look into, especially if you're a starting off stake pool operator that is looking for that delegation to start minting blocks. All right, let's get into it. Hey everyone, thank you for joining me on this video where I'll be taking you through the whole process around the Optim Finance testnet. Now the team have released a Medium post article that walks you through the entire thing, but I'm going to take you through that entire process as well so that you can see and get a little bit of an explanation as to what is going on and why they're trying to do this. If this is your first time seeing my channel, I'm Peter Buey and I talk all about the Cardano ecosystem, everything around it, and also bridging over to some other ecosystems such as Algorand and Ergo as well. So looking into those cross-chain collaborations at the moment, and I'm pretty excited about what's happening in the entire ecosystem too. So if you really like this type of content, please consider giving me that thumbs up, click subscribe, and click on that notification bell, and you hear more great content from me soon. But let's get into this video here and have a look at exactly what Optim are doing. So this is the testnet guide here. Now, if you're wanting to get access to this, I'll leave a link down below. So everything that I'm talking about, the testnet, the Discord servers, the Twitter accounts, everything is in the show notes for you. So please make sure you check that out. It's all there, easily digestible. Oh, and I also have chapter markers down below there as well. So if you want to skip ahead with something, you can do so. So please use those chapter markers to optimize your time in this video. So let's have a look at this testnet guide. So it gives you an overview of what you need to do, how to set things up. Now, if you haven't used the testnet before in the Cardano ecosystem, make sure you have one of the wallets set up. I'm going to be using Nami wallet for this process. It's probably the easiest one to use for a lot of this testing. It takes away a lot of the complexities that you see in some of these other wallets. Now, you need to go through and configure your wallet to the preview testnet. So this is one of the new testnet versions that is out now. So configure that to preview and then go through the process of funding that wallet. So if you haven't used the testnet faucet before, there are detailed instructions here on what you need to do on how to actually use the testnet faucet. And it's a really easy process of just going through here. Let me just refresh this page for you so you can see what it looks like. Choose the preview testnet, add in your receiving address from your Nami wallet or whatever wallet you're using. Click on I'm not a robot, prove that you're not a bot, and then request the funds. Now you can do this once every 24 hours at the moment. And once you're done with the testnet ADA, it is recommended that you send it back to this return address here. The test ADA is a finite supply, so you do need to send that back so other people can use it for their testing. So let's jump back to the article here. So let's jump back to the guide here. Now, once your wallet is all set up and ready to go, you can start jumping into the dashboard and viewing what you can do. So everything from viewing the bonds, buying bonds, and then actually creating them too. So let's jump over to the dashboard and see what we're dealing with here. Now, I've already connected my wallet and you can see the balance of ADA that I have, the test ADA in here, and my current testnet address. So we can see that's all working. Now I have gone through and interacted with the protocol before, so I'm familiar with what I'm trying to show you here. Now the first thing that we can do is buy a bond. Now this is contributing to some of the existing bonds that are already on the platform here. So you can see these bonds here, and I as a user that wants to gain a little bit of extra return on my ADA can buy one of these bonds and participate within the ecosystem. So here, looking at this one here, the pool name here is a hash code. This particular bond here is 80% funded. This hover over details thing is really annoying because I do want to have a look at those details under it. So I'm sure they'll work out some of this UX stuff, but I can see this particular bond is 80% funded currently at 800 ADA. So it's got a little bit more in there to go. Now the amount of bonds that they have is 10. The total value of this one is 1,000 ADA. The interest rate 3.5%, duration 9 months. premium paid out every 3 months, and interest buffer of extra 1 month. So let's go in and have a look at the details here and purchase this particular bond. Great, so there the details repeated. I can see the pool name. So I'm assuming this pool name here will actually have the stake pool that it's assigned to this particular bond. But let's deposit some of my ADA into this. And I'll just drag the slider up. So I'm purchasing 2 bonds at 200 ADA in total. And I'll click on deposit. Now, once I deposit this, I will get these equity tokens. Now, these equity tokens then get converted over to the actual tradable equity bond tokens as well. So it's something to just keep in mind. So as the liquidity pool, this particular pool for this bond is being created, you get the equity tokens. And when that's converted over at the end, they converted over into the final tokens, which is the Optim bond tokens. So let me just deposit this one here. Just sign my transaction. And away it goes. So that is nice and quick. So I can see my bond position's gone up from 2 to 3 now, and I can see my extra bond position here. It's actually this one here. So because of the pool ID name, I can see it started with a B. So I can go back into my bond details there, and I can see exactly how much of a return I'm getting from this one. This one I'm potentially getting a 25.8904 ADA in return for the particular bond. Now let me just go back to my bond position page. So I'm on your page, bond positions. Now you can see further down here, closable bond positions. So this is all of the bonds that have reached the maturity, and then I can actually claim or withdraw from that particular bond. So these are also the non-active bonds that can be redeemed for underlying ADA and the interest. Great, so I'll just go back to the dashboard now and I'll have a look at this process, but from the other side, from a stake pool operator side of things. So here I can now issue a bond that other people can contribute their ADA to. Now, this is really important for stake pool operators that are looking to gain that delegation. So if you're a starting off stake pool operator and you can't gain that delegation, that minimum of that about 1 million, 2 million ADA that you need to gain that delegation, this is a fantastic way of getting it. So now I can issue these bonds, get people to purchase shares in those bonds, and then I can get that delegation staked to my stake pool and earning that extra rewards from that process. So here we go. So let's go issue bond. And here I'll put in my actual public key for my stake pool. And in this case, you can get it from here, your pool ID or the beach hashed version of it as well. So you can get all the details there. There are detailed instructions around this as well. So if you are a stake pool operator and you're trying to work through this process, there are guides here directly for stake pool operators so that you can learn how to create a bond for your particular stake pool. So please check that out if you're interested in this side of things. So here we can put in our public key. In this case, I'll just leave it blank because for this testnet, it will use my wallet stake key. So I'll just use that. I can't change any of the details here at the moment. So it's just at 9 months for 54 epochs and 10 bonds at the total of 1,000 ADA. Here I can though change the amount of interest that I'm going to get for this particular bond. Or give for this particular bond, and I'm going to bump it up to 7%, make it really attractive for people that are interested in providing some ADA assets to this. So I'll bump it up to 7% there, and I'll go issue bond. So from here, I'll need to sign the transaction, and away it goes. So here we go. So this is my latest one here, that lovely interest rate. Now I can withdraw and cancel this particular bond at any point in time, or I can even deposit my own ADA to it, to this particular smart contract that will be delegating to my pool. Now overall, I can see my my pool positions here. I got 3, my bond position is 3, and I love this extra little addition here of an overview of how much I'm potentially going to earn through the platform. My bond ROI at 7.12% and my ROI value at 7.7456 ADA for everything that I'm doing in this particular ecosystem at the moment. So I absolutely love that. Now, if you want to learn more about the terminology, the bonds, the equity tokens, and everything around it, they do have this FAQ and learning section where you can learn more about the particular terminology and how the platform works. But the FAQs go through all your commonly asked questions, why they built this, what the use cases are, etc., etc. Now, if you want to engage with the community, please check out the website at optim.finance, where you can find out all more information. You can also engage on the Discord server there. I'll be on there as well. So if you want to ask some questions in regards to the video, I'll be there responding to it. But the community is quite active in regards to this testnet process. Now, if you want to give feedback for the particular testnet, you can do so as well. There is a particular feedback form on the guide here. So if you go all the way to the bottom of the guide, there's a link to this particular form, this form here, where you can give the team as much detailed feedback as possible. More feedback, the better they can improve the platform. Everything from the UI, the UX around the particular platform itself, questions that you might have, so they can add it into the FAQs. Now, I did point out some little things like UX things like this. Maybe they can move this details button somewhere else just to make it a little bit easier for users to still see the data that's behind it, but click through to the different parts of the site. So a little bit of feedback like that can help the team make a better product in the end. Now, that's it for me for this video. Hopefully you found this video walkthrough really educational and helpful for your journey in the Cardano DeFi ecosystem. If you're a stake pool operator, this is something that you should really start looking into, especially if you're a small stake pool operator or someone that's starting off in the ecosystem. Just getting to that threshold of about $1 million ADA and beyond is the hardest point. And once you get past that point, you can start earning and gaining delegation from different sources and really start building up your stake pool and helping to decentralize that network. And if you're on the other side where you're trying to work out where you're going to put your ADA to stake, you can do so through the platform and gain that extra amount of yield return on your ADA because of the mechanisms that they put in place here. So really cool what they're doing. Absolutely love it. And it's a really cool initial use case for Optim Finance. Now, I just want to give a little special shout out to the merchandise I'm wearing here. So this Clay Nation t-shirt I got at CNFTCon, so absolutely brilliant, absolutely love it. Some of the merch that came out of there, such as this particular mixtape from Champ Medici. I don't have a cassette player, unfortunately, but I don't think this is something that I'll open up anytime soon. That is a really cool collectible. And of course, my nano frame in the background there it is. I got that at Rare Bloom, and it's showcasing my pendulum NFT there at the moment. So it's just a little shout out for those two projects. Clay Nation doing some amazing things with their collections, collaborations with music artists, and their metaverse that they're building. A preview of it looks really, really cool. And these nano frames, they're just awesome. Absolutely love it. Somewhere where I can actually show off my PFP collections, my NFT collections, and everything else around it. All right, if you got something out of this video, if you really enjoyed it, please consider giving me that thumbs up, click subscribe, click on the notification bell, and you'll hear from me in the next video. See ya.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast. Gotta get it hype. Crypto is what we like, but this is not investment or financial advice. Gotta do your research, cause it's risky. We know it is. This show is educational and it's informative. Crypto's the future, really, it ain't no debate.